Okay, anyhow. Models and theories of plan changed. From the day one, we have studied about organization development. Then we are studied about organization's involvement. Last time, we have studied that. We have discussed about different things in organization's involvement. That organizational culture, we consider that. That for the most important, that bringing a change, if you did not change the culture, so it is difficult to incorporate any changes. Changing the culture will lead the overall organization will be implemented. Now, for bringing change in a practical shape, it needs a methodology. It needs some theories through which we implement it and bring that change in a practical shape. If you remember that we have discussed about some theories at the beginning of the class about doctor-patient model, action research model, we have discussed about that. But later on in this chapter, we will look at the theories, some more theories which are most implemented all around the world. If you look at about the change, that is the need of every organization. It is not irrelevant to the one person. It's not irrelevant to the one place. In this global, in this world, if you want to stay, if you want to have a pace in it, if you want to make your existence available there, for that you need to go for the change. The change will be occurred continuously change. Continuously change will make you exist in the market. If you did not go along with the change, you will be disappear from the market. The change will be in any term, whether in an organizational culture, structure, design, environment, it is in employees or overall structure. It can be anything. But the change must be incorporated. When the change can be incorporated, so definitely a new system will be occur, a new behavior of employees will be seen, a new structure will be seen, a new environment will be seen. So different things after the changing will occur here. Bringing a change, it needs a strategy. It needs a theories. It needs, in here we have models through which we can bring the change. Without understanding the change, we cannot bring, without understanding the models, we cannot incorporate any changes. Change will be occur, but with some models, with some theories, with the other researchers have already implemented. They have already implemented from the last of many years. It goes on. Still, people are using these models in our daily life, and currently we are using these models. Now, we'll go for first about nature of plan change. What is the nature of plan change? What do you have? The pace of global economic technologies development makes change an inevitable features of organization's life. The pace of, if you look at economical changes that come, inflations or economical or technological, when there is economical and technological change or in globally occur, that compel you to bring the change. If new technologies are coming in the market, economical development is coming in the market, so you are as a company, will you change yourself or not? Will you be in static? Definitely you will go according to technology, because it's the need of global. If you want to stay in the market, you have to change. Technological change will be bring. If economical change comes, definitely you also incorporate that according to the economical, which is the externally desired for that. Desire of employees, desire of the customers, from outside, from external. So that you have to, for generating a revenue, you have to look the needs of the customer and offer them. For that to identify the needs or to grab the needs, so you have to change yourself first. Then you're able to grab that change. If you did not change yourself, you did not bring any changes in yourself, so how can we incorporate the new changes? How can you grab that change which is occur inside the market? Now what do you have? However, change happens. Change happens to an organization can be distinguished from the change that is explained by its members. Why are you bringing changes? For making you distinguish from other members. Distinguish. Why you are going for the change? Look to your organizations. Similar activities or similar services provided by all similar organizations. But they have something differences. They make themselves distinguished from others. If you look at the telecommunication sector, see the different services. Every telecommunication they're trying to distinguish themselves from one another. Continuously they are introducing the change. If you remember that first they introduced the 2G. Another company came, they introduced the 4G. Another came, they come up with a LTE. Now what do you have? What do you have? That is what for innovation, for making themselves distinguished. If they did not incorporate these changes, they will be disappear from the market. That is the nature of plain change. Actually, it's nature that it needs to be sustained in the market, to make yourself for long term in the market. That is a need that you have to incorporate that. What do you have? Here the term change will refer to plain change. Remember that. Change will be also all the time, that will be plain change. Remember that we studied about the plain change. It will not be abrupt. It will be a planed. It will be all the strategy will be plain, that what we are going to do. First they will plan that, then they are come to with the action, then implemented. No organization will bring any change with the abrupt. No, they first on a backhand they will work, they will make a plan for long term. They may convince the employees, convincing employees, allow them to accept the change. Look, when there is no acceptance from employees, you are not bring any changes. First make them to accept the change. When employees are accepting, then you can incorporate it. Although it's difficult for you to bring that change. Now change we have is all the time it's explained. Now we have organization development is directed at the bringing about plain change to increase an organization effectiveness. Why we are bring the change? For one reason, to bring the effectiveness. Why we looking for distinguishing from other organization? Why we are making self differences? Why we looking too much differences that you want to differ from one another? For the sake of effectiveness. Look, when you go for interview, you're trying to be separate, distinguished from another candidates. Related to your knowledge, related to your body posture, related to your gestures, your dress up, and your hairstyles. In every angle you are trying to look yourself distinguished for the sake of to impress the interviewers. So that's why, similarly, being an organization, you are trying to bring the changes to be ineffective so that you can grab the customers. You can grab the customers of their attentions. That's why you're bringing this effectiveness. Changes will be occurred for the sake of to bring the effectiveness inside the organizations. That's why we are bringing changes. New technologies, new strategies will be introduced. Why? For the sake of to be effective. Look, if you are a shopkeeper, if you are a businessman, continuously you are changing, bringing variations in your strategy and as well as your decorations. Why? To attract the people. If you did not bring the changes inside the decoration or staff or other peoples in their services, their dealing, the communications among the employees and customers, you did not bring any changes, so maybe the customers will not come towards you. If you continuously evaluating your customers, continuously evaluating your employees in their behaviors, in the relationship of their employees and customers, and overall the infrastructure, and so you are continuously evaluating, because these are the things which affect the employees, which affect on customers. That's why you drag the customers with the help of, the more you work, the more you expense on your organization, the more you gain the customers. As example of yours that, spending money on your own self, on your knowledge, on your credibility, on your potential, continuously you are spending money on you. So what will happen? Ultimately, the demand of yours will be increased. People, well, they say that we need you because you spend much things on yourself. You learn too much things. You spend money on yourself. You work on yourself. That's why people say that we need you. Not you saying that I need this organization. Organization will say that we need you. Because of what? Because you have the effectiveness. You have the capabilities, the credibilities that your expertise can give us a lot of things for organizations. That's why we are hiring you that. Organization development is not only for organizations, they take it for your own self. It's also relevant to your own self. Not we just looking to organizations, look your own self. If you're looking for similar for organization to developing effectiveness, take this word for your own self-development. The more you develop yourself, the higher the prestige you will get from the market. The value you get from the market. You will be a valuable person. They give you higher salary comparatively the others because you have served many things. You invested on yourself. Now if you're like this, you're not investing your, look, 4-year bachelor's, that is the investment on yourself. The degree, it is a piece of paper. It's a receipt of that you have invested on yourself. So what comes out from you after 4 years, that shows the actual value of yours. After 4 years, continuously counted how much you have expended. 4 lakh, 5 lakhs, 6 lakh, 8 lakhs. How much you have spent it on yourself? After coming out, when you go to the market, then you will see your value. You invest on yourself. Why people give you too much money? Why people give you 5,000, 50,000 or 70,000, 8,000 and 1 lakh? You invested somewhere, now that you make your value. Similar humans are there. In the market, similar humans, look, comparatively, why they give you? Because you have the effectiveness. You invested on yourself. That's why they give you too much preferences. Is it clear? Yeah.
If you focus on the second line of first paragraph, it's written that change that happens to an organization can be distinguished from change that's planned by its members. But you explain in different ways that the change make an organization distinguished from another organization. But if we focus here, it means that what the organization or its members they plan and what actions happen is different from each other. So my question is that which factors can be the reasons of these similarities between what they plan and what happens?
Okay.
Due to lack of which factors there will be this problem between their perceptions and then what happens in real life?
Okay, now, thank you. The question is that when we have plan and action change, the thing is that action and plan change. Plan change will distinguish the members. The members what? Their behavior, they're dealing with the others. That's make it distinguish. The way they work, the way they handle the works, the way they operate inside the organization, the way they communicate with the top management, with the structural change. Now, before action, that was completely different. Before action, before plan change, employees were completely different in the past. They were directed to by top management. They're responsible only to the top management. The top management only hold the final decision rather than to distribute the authority when they see the problem is there. Employees they have less communication among the employees. There is no networking within employees. Communication gap would be there. The problems were there. Everything handled by the top management. When we as audit practitioners, you came up there, you analyze that, you see that the problems are there. Now after the plan change, what will happen? That completely distinguished from the members. What happened that? Now completely look that. The authority is distributed. The power is distributed. Employees having close communications. Interlinks are there. Communications gap is finished. They can incorporate it. Ideas are shared between employees. Now this change happened. This structure happened. Look before the structure. Culture was completely different. Now the culture is completely different. After plan incorporated plan change, the culture is completely different. That is distinguished from the previous members as the newly members. Is it clear? Okay, next we have internally initiated, implemented by managers, and often with the help of OD practitioners, either inside or outside organizations. This plan change will happen by what? By the help of top management. If the top management, if you remember that, I told you that client, OD, practitioners, and consultants. A client, OD practitioners, and a client relationship. What should be there? There must be a relationship of cooperative relationship. They must cooperate each other. They must cooperate each other. If a top management did not cooperate with you, so being an OD practitioners, you are unable to bring any changes. There must be involved top management. Top management must be involved or bringing changes. If the top management is not involved, if the top managers are not involved in the bringing changes, so being an OD practitioners for you is unable to bring any sort of changes, any sort of to incorporate the changes. Organization can plan change to solve the problems. Why you come up with the plan change? You analyze the problem. You saw the problem. Problem is there. Maybe the problem is the low productivity, low morale, high absenteeism. Maybe this problem is there. Employee morale is low, high absenteeism is there, or productivity is low. You see the problem is there. But resolving the problem, we cannot go directly that this is the problem, come on, resolve it. No. For that you need to bring a change. For that you need to make a plan for that, so that you bring this. Look, productivity is low. You perceive that there is a low productivity. Employee morale is low. Absenteeism is high. Turnover rate is high. Employees are leaving the organization without any reasons. Now this is a problem or not? Analyzing or making a hold on this problem, it needs to study. It needs to analyze so that you hold on it. For that you need to make a plan change. Continuously you make a 1 year, 2 year plan for that. So resolving the problem. So what we have? Organization can use the plan change for what? Solving a problem. To learn from experience. What that? To learn from experience, reframe the shared perceptions, adapt to external environment changes, and improve the performance and influence the future changes. Look, let me tell you again. Change will occur with the help of top management. Unless and until if the change the top management did not perceive, it will be difficult to occur. First, they have to perceive, they have to analyze, we need a change. Change is needed. Whether that is technological, whether that is organizational structure, design, workplace, environment, or moral, anything. But once you perceive the problem is there, once you perceive the problem is there, whether the problem is with your employees, or whether the problem is with the top management, whether it's involved with the environment, with the structure, with the work design, with your job description, employees are not providing productive work, the problem is there. Once you analyze the problem, then hold on it. Perceive that yes, the problem is available there. When you see the problem is available there and you perceive that yes, the problem is there, so what will happen that? Then you come up with the solution to that. Now what you have? That solves the problem. Learn the experience. Most time we go for the experience. Look, if a problem is, close the door. If a problem is there and that problem occurs continuously, so definitely we go for the experience rather than go for a plan change. We go for the plan change when there is a new problem, completely new. We have no study, no experience, completely new problem. Then we go for the plan change. If there is a problem we have already experienced previously, but for that we need experience to resolve the problem. Learning that we have. What do you have? Adopt or change in environmental changes. Maybe this change will occur from external change, environmental change, so that we need to adapt that. Maybe that external factors will come. If you remember that you study about the pestle analysis, or SWOT analysis. Political, economical, technological, legal. These are the environmental. These are the instability. If these are unstable, so that affect on your organizations. So make yourself ready to adopt that. If there is a SWOT analysis, you're analyzing your SWOT. You're making comparison with the other companies. Then whether the other companies they are forward or lag behind, whether they are an upward or backward. You're analyzing that. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? You make their weakness your own strength. You're analyzing this. Now, what do you have? These changes are incorporated for what? For the future. You incorporate these changes for what? For the future. You're continuously going for the change or adapting a new change for what? For the sake of the future, to adopt the future. Any changes comes in the future, environmental change, social change, political change. So I should incorporate these changes with my work. All approaches to ORI rely on some of the theories about a plane change. Whatever we have discussed all the time, all these things what we have discussed so far, these all things rely on ORI, on a theory of plane change. What are the theories we have? Look, the theories describe different stages theory which plane change may be effected in organizations, explain the process of applying ORI methods by helping members manage change. These theories can help you to bring the changes in the members. The theories that we are going to study about, this will help you. Number one, the theories plane change. Three major theories we have. How many theories we have? The three major theories we have. Theories of organizational change have to receive considerable attention to the field of, number one, Levin's change model. Number two, the action research model. Number three, contemporary adaptation of action research. These three changes, these three models we have. Through these three models we can bring the change. Whether you go for Levin's change model, action research model and contemporary change model. But one thing, let me clear that. These two models incorporated is derived from the first model 1. These two models came from model 1. First came Levin's model. After that, these action research contemporary that developed, that derived from the first Levin's model. Levin's change model, what do you have? According to open system view, organizations like living creatures tend to be homostatic, continuously working to maintain the steady state. Look, some organizations, they don't want to change yourself. They want to have a static. They don't want to be change. Organizations are there that they don't want to change. When you call for the change, look, if I say that, who wants change? From this class, everyone will raise their hand. If I say that, who want to be changed? No one will raise his or her hand. Look, wants and change and to be changed, that's two different words, two different statements we have. Who wants change? Every person wants change, to bring changes. But if I say who want to be changed, no one want to be changed. He believes that if I change, it will take me 4 or 5 years for new strategies, for new policies to adopt that. Or bringing, if the technology comes, if the technology introduced, so for learning a new technology, it maybe take 1 year or 2 years. So that's why they're showing their resistance. What they show? Resistance. Resistance for what? Resistance for change. Is it clear or not? So who among you guys, who show resistance for change? Is there anyone? No. Yeah, when I give presentation, you all show resistance. Although there is a personal benefit of yours. What is the personal benefit? You score, you will score. The marks are there. Reward is there. Whenever you are incorporated a change, there must be a reward system. Without reward system, no one can adopt the change. If I give you set marks, extra marks, definitely every person will be motivated to come up with that with the presentation, and we will present it. So that's what we have. Actually, you are designing for. Now, this helps understand why organizations require external impetus, initiate the changes, and indeed why that change will be resisted when it is necessary. Now, this model shows us, this Lemon's model shows us why people start showing the resist, why they don't want to go for the change when it is necessary. If there is a change is necessary, but still the people are showing the resistance. Why they're showing the resistance? Although the change is necessary, why you're showing this resistance? You believe that there will some work which will be come on me, that for me it's difficult to handle it. And new techniques will be there, for me it's difficult to handle it. So showing the resistance, why they show the resistance? If I tell you that why you are showing the resistance for not giving presentations, so what will be the answer? Why? One thing that maybe you have lack of maybe lack of knowledge, lack of knowledge of computer skill, lack of skill, lack of courage, fear. There is a lot of things which comes under that, which makes you restrict you to do any activities. What do you have? Organization change can occur 3 levels. Since the patterns of resistance change different for each, the patterns of each level require different change strategies and techniques in these 3 levels. 3 levels, we bring changes in the 3 levels. Individual, what we have? Group, another we have? The first one we have. Number 1, changing an individual individually. When you want to bring a change, so you start from individuals. Individuals what? Being an OD practitioners. Being an OD practitioners. Yeah, being a class teacher. If I want to bring a change, so I individually, with everyone I should interview and understand what he or she needs, and I should understand the lack, the deficiency of it, so that I should incorporate it, I should make it and recover it. So individual, we go for individual. Now individual who work with the organization, that is the skills, values, attitudes, eventually behavior, but making sure that such individual behavior for change is always regards instrumental of organizations. One thing can make it clear for individual. If you change the behavior, that is the biggest instrumental for organization change. Values, attitudes, these are the instrumental. Look, people showing the resistance. Why? Because that is against their values. That is against their attitudes. Attitudes come from where? Your behavior comes from where? From the attitude. In attitude, what we have? In attitude, we have cognitive. We are cognitions. Our cognition statements are there. Perception. What cognitions? The statements are there. The cognitive ability converted to your feelings. That feelings again show the behavior. If I make this example clear with the cognitive, whatever you do inside the class, that is what I store in my cognitions. That's mentality I'm talking about. Later on it comes to feelings. So where I show my behavior?
In the class.
No, during the exam. And I show my behavior. No, that's an example. What that attitude changing, people show the resistance. How to remove that resistance? How to remove the resistance? Tell them that what you're doing, that is inside organization, you have a lot of people. Why are you laughing?
The message that you just mentioned.
Yes, as a general message for all. Listen, when you have inside the organization, peoples are there, there's somehow different attitudes out there. Old peoples out there, aged peoples out there, people who serve from lots of 5-10 years in organizations. Whenever they bring the changes, that's what you are going against to it. For OD practitioners, you have to tell them the needs of this change. But what I'm doing with you by bringing this change is the benefit for you. It's not against you. You have to take a trust of that employees. Now what do you have? That behavior. Eventually, the behavior of individual for change regarding the instrumental. That behavior is an instrumental for organizations. Is it clear? So the second one we have? We have already did a break. So 15 extra. Okay, number 2. Change versus organization structure and system. Change versus organization structure and system. Now organization structure and system, the change will occur. How this change will be there? Look, structure is completely different. Employees or morale is low. For increasing their morale, you have to give a reward. You're giving a reward or not? You are not giving, you have no promotion strategies. You are not giving any promotion. From the last of 5 years or 10 years, employees are working, but still they are working on one post. You have no promotion strategy for that. Come up with a promotion strategy. Reward is there. For motivation of employees, you have to give reward. Reward in terms of what? In terms of monetary or non-monetary. What do you have? Reward, reporting relationship, work design. Hey, there is no reporting relationship that. No relation is there. So if there is no relationship, how an employee can how an employee can behave in a certain way, what you want. If the top management and lower, there is a gap. If the gap is there, how employees understand the strategies, the ideas of employer. So definitely the gap should be disappeared. The last one we have of this role, directly changing the organization climates. As we study about organizational environment, change will be, sir, how open peoples with each other and how a conflict managed and how decisions made and so on. The first thing that the problem is here. So you have to look at people are openly discussing or not. Yeah, they are bound or no one can hear. Being employee, is there any involvement of employees or not? If there employee involvements or not? Will you give the values to your employees in decision making? Will you make them to come? Will you accept the ideas of your employees? Will you allow them to give any sort of decisions, any sort of suggestions? Will you allow them? Is there open communication between top management and lower and line managers or employees? Is there whether the negotiations happen, whether they can share their idea, their problems with the top management, whether top management allow them to share their problems? Yes or no? If there is no, so that is not open. That is ended. That is a closed-ended place. That is not open. Open is a place where employees have openly, critically, they come up and they criticize the organization structure. They criticize the organizations. Wherever they see the problem, they criticize. Top management, the employers will incorporate that, will make it clear that. So whether it is open system, how conflict is managed. If the problem is here, the conflict is here between top management and lower, or between line and employees, how this conflict is resolved? Is there any method to resolving the conflict? Is there any signal or any sign to resolve the conflict? And how decisions are made? Whether the decision is only held down by top management or others are involved. Whether the employees or all employees are working or only the top management will take decisions. Who will take the decisions? Whether employees are involved or not. Is it clear? Okay, go for the break. Okay. So बरोबर. Anyhow, as we discussed previously about Levin's model, the Levin's model, the change process, which most important things that which is main concern that why we bring changes, why people show the resistance that. If you look at it here in this diagram, Levin's model, this is a Levin's model. We have three things we have. In Levin's model, it's the three steps we have. The first one we have unfreeze, change, refreeze. Unfreeze, change, refreeze. What do you have? Refreeze or freeze, yeah? Unfreeze. Whenever we want to bring a change inside the organization, so first we will change the old methodology. We will change the old methodology and then incorporate the change, and again then we will make it the refreeze or freeze it. For example, if any organizations need a change, definitely when you bring a change inside the organization, they will show the resistance. They will show resistance or not. When they are showing the resistance, so it means that it's difficult to bring a change. So for avoiding the change, for avoiding the resistance, you have to unfreeze them first. How you unfreeze first? How you unfreeze them? That employees, when you want to bring a change, first tell the importance of the change, the benefits to employees. You are telling the benefits, the importance, the what after this change, what will happen to you, what the skills you will get, what the knowledge you will get. It means that you drag them up to the acceptance level. You make them to accept the change. When they are ready to accept the change, bring the change. Introduce the change. Okay, you guys ready for change? Yeah, we are ready for you. Accept the change? Yeah. So how they accept the change? When they see the problem. When they see that there is a problem, if we did not incorporate with the problem, so maybe this will happen on us for the long term. First, they will see that they affect. Unless and until you are not affected by the problem, you will not go for the change. When you see this is a problem, continuously coming toward you, then you go for the change. Now tell them that this is a problem. Tell them this is a problem. If you won't incorporate with the change, so you will face the problem like this. Now they will accept the change, technological change. When you introduce the technology, once you introduce the technology, you introduce the change. Now what is the next thing? What is the next step? The last thing, refreeze or freeze that. What? How you freeze that? Once you open them for acceptance of change. For the second time, you incorporate the change, you introduce the change. Now the third stage down you refreeze means that you now with the help of policies, with the help of with different policies, laws, regulations, you make policies so that no one can resist again for the change. With the help of policies, you bound them. With the help of your policy, with the new policies, every person signed that yes, we accept that. With the help of policies, these are written policies will be there. You include it inside the organization policies. So they are bound. They must do this, they must accept the change then. They will not, after some time, they will not show any resistance to that. So this we will study a little bit in a detail. The first one we have unfreeze. What do you have? Unfreeze. Unfreeze. According to Levin's, the pioneer of field of social psychology of organization. Levin is the pioneer. Pioneer means the main founder. The main founder of the psychology of organizations. The founder of what? Psychology of organization. He said that the first step of any change process is the unfreeze. Any change process, the unfreeze is the first step. Look, when you want to change anyone, any person, first you make a negotiation. First you make a link with that person. For example, many things will happen. And inside the organization, if you want to change your employees, first you have to make a link with them. When you make a deeply connections link with them, then you can bring the change with them, they will accept it. Unless until you have not any relationship with them, so it's difficult to bring any changes. So the first one we have, the process what? Unfreeze. Unfreeze the present pattern of behavior and a way of managing resistance to change. Look, first the present behavior, you have to unfreeze it that. Unless and until if you do not unfreeze that, so you cannot incorporate a new change. How you can unfreeze it? With the help of motivation, with the help of seminars, with the help of training, with the help of tell them the benefits, the consequences, the results, so that they should accept, they're ready for change. If you did not tell them about the importance, about the benefit, the advantage of a new change, they will not incorporate, they will not come up. Now what we have, look, depending on organization's level, the change will be occur. It depends on organization's level of change intended. Such unfreezing might involve individual level, selective promoting or terminating employees on the structured or structural level. Maybe this unfreezing will involve in individual level, maybe it involve in a promoting level, maybe the selective promotions will be there, or maybe it is terminating level employees. Maybe this will happen on termination of employees, then they will be unfreeze. Maybe, look, if I tell you the example of that, a company of European company or European airline company. Remember that I give you an example of European airline company? If not, I'll repeat it again. European airline company was run by who? By the Air Force martial arts. What happened? That is a semi-government company. That company was a semi-government company. Every year he will pay many thousands of dollars to organize to the government in the shape of taxes or anything we have. They're giving that. Although the company was not performing that much, which they're giving taxes to the government. What will happen that? Now the organization decided that. They decided it's time for change. If it is continuously will go on, so definitely will disappear from the market. They did what? In first step they terminate. They not terminate. They pre-give retirement to what? To the top management. The top management will available all those people who are marshals, who are air marshals. They give the pre-retirement, as we can call terminate, pre-retirement, early retirement. They give early retirement, and in place of them, who hired? They hired all those people who have the business mind, who had business mind people. They hired in place of all these people, business mind people, those who have MBA degrees. They hired all those people for the sake of they know about the business. They give top management, they hire top management, all those industrialist people, because those have practical knowledge of business. They know how to take the organization to the higher level. They hired it. Instead of what was that? The people who run the organizations, they were air martial art peoples that did not know about the business. They only by their post they came to the Air Force. The governmental, they retired from the Air Force, they take the postage. So when they change that, what will happen? After few years, they become the leading of the market. They got leading shares of the market. Why? Top management influenced too much. They did not know. They have lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge of what? Of running the organization, of understanding the market growth. They don't know about that. Is it clear? So that's why they bring that. So similarly, what will happen? Whether there should be individual level, selective promoting or terminating employees, or structure level. Maybe there is a lack of communication. We have no communication between employees. There is no structure. Structure level means it is relevant to leadership style. What type of leadership style is this? It affects on employee performance. Now, one of your classmates, he's searching about that. Is there any relationship between impact? Is there any impact or any relationship between leadership style on employee job satisfaction or employee performance? that one he take only one dimension on only one, that is the democratic. You want to see whether democratic having performance, having effect on performance? Yes, democratic having the effect on performance. The more you involve employees, the more they get happier and they perform well. Now what is that? Structure level. If there is the autocratic or if there is laissez-faire style. Autocratic is what? Only leader can take the decision. He holds the decision. He will not involve the employees. What will happen that? Employee will show dissatisfaction or not? Employee will work with this sort of some sort of management. Now look the structure. The structure can affect on employee performance. The behavior. Remember one. Let me tell you something that 85% employees are dissatisfied from their work just because of their boss behaviors. 85% employees they are not satisfied from their jobs just because of their employees' bad behaviors. They are working there, but they have some obligations. Behavior of top management can affect on employees' performance. Is it right or not? Completely. Top management, if they not deal properly, definitely employees were thinking about switching the job, looking for another job. Why all the time you are looking for another job? Why all the time you are searching for jobs in Afghan, Akbar.com or anywhere else? Because your existence company will not provide you as value as you want it. As value as you want it. They will not provide you the value, the acceptance, the respect. Look, one thing, make it clear that all people, they will not work just for the monetary. Money is not the only term that motivates you. Only money cannot motivate you. There is some other factors which make you motivate. If I give your decisions, if I take your decisions, if I involve you in my decision making, if I give you respect, if I give you work-life balance, if I give you work relaxations, time relaxations, whenever you want to finish, go home, if I give you vacations, paid vacations, so that make you more enthusiastic, more, it will make your performance more higher and higher. Is it or not? I'm wrong or right? Look, if there is some sort of, if there is no, your vacations are locked, time restrictions, workload is high, structure is not good, top management always having in a bad mood, not giving value, not giving respect, what will happen ultimately? You are sick and tired of this job. Definitely you will leave. You will think of leaving these organizations. Many people, they go for enterprise or they go for small, medium enterprise. They become entrepreneur. Why people become entrepreneur? Just for the sake of to avoid these things, to avoid to not have. They don't want to work under the other people. Why? Why they don't want to work under the other people? Because they don't want orders. They don't want restrictions. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to become an entrepreneur if you have the capabilities of not accepting the orders of others. You said, no, I don't want to accept the orders of others. I don't want to work under other people. I work for myself. Simple phenomena. If you can work for others, you can also work for your own self. If you can work for others, you can also work for your own self. But that need a struggle. It's have only the idea of a struggler. A struggler can accept this. He will accept the struggling, but he will not accept the to bound for other. What does an entrepreneur think about that? Tomorrow you will be an entrepreneur. Now look, if you guys are employed somewhere, you are working for others. You're working for others or not? To any managers, you are just accelerating the idea of other. So at the end of the month you will be paid. It means your effort becomes zero. Next month you start again. After end of the month, again they paid you money, the effort becomes zero. But the effort will be incorporated or contributed for success of that organizations. If you give this effort for your own organizations, after 1 month that will remain effort. Your effort will not be zero. After 2 months, your effort will be not zero. After 1 year, your effort will be not zero. After 5 years, your effort will be not zero. It means it give you something. Continuously will you effort for that. Remember that. if again saying that to be an entrepreneur and make a small business is not a simple. It needs an idea. I don't want to motivate you to come directly become an entrepreneur. No, for that you need to have storage, store some money. You have to store money, like save the money. Never ever think about that directly leaving the organization or starting your own business. Then you will fall in a big problem. No, do not leave that. Stay with your job, go for your side work. Get from there, invest it here. Get from here, invest it here. When you believe that my organization is now up to that level, leave the organization and go to your organization then. So do not go directly or start a directly business. Go for partnership. Go invest on the other ideas. Gradually. So do not leave your existence job to be making yourself an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur doesn't mean that leaving your everything and come up with the idea to market, and the market will be for you, but you have no financial. You have need financially. Financial is the most important thing for that. So it took me the topic goes somewhere else. Let's come to back. Okay, now. So it is the word structure level. Structure level is there. If there is structure level effect on employees, that there is a structure level which shows you need to be changed. Now what do you have? Developing high exponential training programs in such way to organization design and matrix management on the climate level, providing data-based feedback and how employees feel about certain management practices. Now what do you have that? Being an OD practitioner at the beginning level, unfreezing. What do you have? Unfreeze. First we have, listen, if someone having bad habit, turning them to the good habit, first you have to tell them about negativities, bad things of previous habit. Unless and until if you did not motivate them of changing from that habit, he will not adopt the new habit. If he is bad, he's having a bad habit. So first tell them that what you are doing in your bad habit, that habit will kill yourself. That make you shame on you, make you a shameful life. So when you're telling them the bad habits, that is what disadvantages, you encouraging him to come up with to accept the new habit. You will say, okay, I'm ready to accept. What I'll do? Okay, go for tabligh. That will change. A person who addicted of anything. Now changing him, now he is not leaving that addictions. Unless and until if you did not tell him the disadvantages of that. Unless and until you did not tell him the good benefit that you are introducing for that, the benefits of a new change. Make them accept. You say, okay, ready. I'm ready for accepting the change. Now once for that, unfreeze them. Unfreeze means unfreeze it, then make a new shape. Look, inside our refrigerators we have what? We have ice. Inside the refrigerator we have ice. Now for ice it is in one shape. It is in a ball shape. It takes on a ball shape. So for changing the shape of this ball, if this also ice shape, want to change this ice shape, convert it to the new shape. So first you have to make it liquefy. Make it to the liquid shape. Yeah, unfreeze it. Once you make it in a liquid shape, then you can change another ball on another instrument, so that will take another shape, and then make it freeze. Put it inside the refrigerator. That will refreeze it again. That will take another shape. Is it right or not? So refreezing, continuously you have to go for the feedback. Now for refreezing, for unfreeze an organization, for unfreezing them, you need to assign, you need to tell them, motivate them, training should be arranged, tell them the advantage of that, and inside the training you are motivating your employees what need to bring the change. خلاص Okay, now, whatever the level involves, each of these interventions need to make organization members address that level needs for change, heighten their awareness in their behaviors pattern, make them more open, and change process. Look, simple thing is that of this paragraph, give them awareness. Awareness of what? Awareness of new change. It might be moral, it might be organizational, it might be structure related, it might be environmental related, it might be the policies related. So anything, you have to give them awareness first. Unless and until if you do not give them knowledge of a new change, they will not accept the change. All the time they will show the resistance. All the time they will show the resistance. So for that, you need to give them change. You need to give them what? Training, arrange seminars, motivate them, one-to-one negotiate, communications with them, interact with them, ask him, tell them the benefits, take their trust. Do not show their face to the world. You know, once I take the trust of you, then you openly say that, I'll openly communicate with you, I openly share with you, I openly accept your ideas. So in here, once you are opened, once you are unfreeze, so next stage is what? Movement. What is the next stage? Movement. See that? What is the next stage? The next stage is what? Movement. Movement means change. Now in one we have, that is a movement. Second step, only we see these three steps. After the three steps we will plug it in. Okay, I'll make it concise. Make it concise. Okay, I'll show you all the points. I'll make it concise, right? Second step, movement. Now it's time to incorporate the change. And unfreeze, once you make unfreeze that, now it's time to movement. In a movement, they are say that yes, we are ready to accept the change. Now in this step, what we have involving and actually change that move organizations to another level response. Now an individual level would see people behave differently, perhaps demonstrating new skills. Now look here, they will behave differently after changing, after introducing a new change. Before their behaviors were different, now it is behaving differently. They learn new skills. The new skills will learn that. New skills and new supervisor practices. They learn something new. They are practicing new things after, now while you are incorporating the changes. Now individual level we should expect to see change in a actual organizational structure. Reporting. Now for the reporting was completely different. Now the reporting is different. In the past the reporting world, there was no reporting between, no relationship between top management and lower management. Now here is must we have reporting system is good. And look here, effect on new employees to do their work. The reward system introduced. There was no reward system. Now I introduced the reward system. Now reward system, now look in here. In here in exams you have what? Marks. Marks is the reward system which make you motivated to extra marks motivate you to work hard and to come for paper. If there will be no reward or no marks, will you work? No. Yes. You work. You study. Reward is there, then you will study. If there is no reward, you will not study. So similar things said. Finally, the climate is there. Climate of interpersonal style level. The relationship, the climate. Every person, every employee can openly share their ideas. At the past, there will be no system of sharing the ideas. There will be blocked. Their employees' mentality mind will be blocked. Their ideas were not accepted, but now everything is accepted. They are open to that. Environment, the culture is like this, that they can openly share their ideas. Now in here, you see that you change the system, you change the individual, you change the people, you change the structure, you change the environment, you change the design. Now you make them freezed. The last one, Now you make them freeze. Don't fall asleep. I don't want you, now you make them freeze, refreeze that. Refreeze, it will come in exam, don't worry. I'll make it short. I'll make it short. Refreeze. In a refreeze, I'll make it short. During the refreeze stage, organization may also ensure that new behavior become. Now what do you have? Listen, I'll make it short. Once you have draw, refreeze it, unfreeze it, now movement, now unfreeze. Whatever the changes they introduced, whatever the strategy they introduced, whether the individual level, organization level, and every level. Now it's time for refreeze. And refreeze what? Make it policies, rules, regulations, and we make sure that would be for operant, or it should be a part of our policies for permanent time. Is it clear? Yes. Okay, that's all for today.
Thank you, sir.